Hello, welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, let's get on with it then. What are we on to now? Match day 8 of the Premier League season? Christ, what was it, really 8 already? But alright, anyway, right, watch me on the trail of redemption in my predictions. Watch me get every single Premier League match this week correct. Just you wait. Right, let's go. Watford versus Liverpool. Make no mistake about it, when scousers wake up at 6 AM, ready to travel on the bus to London for the match, oh, you're damn right they're going to be choking on Weetabix. Christ, the mega bus for the away fans is probably going to smell like terrified piss. For Liverpool fans, a trip to Vicarage Road is about as scary as a trip to the dentist when you haven't brushed your teeth in 7 weeks and you just know the wall's going to be coated in blood. For Liverpool, going to Watford, it's a bit like going around to Peter Sutcliffe's house for dinner. You'll probably be blinded with a spoon. It's like spending an hour licking Russell Brand's mattress. Yeah, pretty sure that's how your face will turn green. Christ, well, you'd be safer putting chlorine in your tea. But Jurgen Klopp, he's already lost 3-0 at Watford twice, and Christ, well, Mo Salah's debut was a kamikaze 3-3 mess in a match where Simon Mignolet once again showed the world that he looks like a ward patient suffering with polio. This is a terrifying ordeal for Liverpool. And Virgil van Dijk, yeah, this man has barely put a foot wrong for the club, sure, but the last time he was at this ground, Troy Deeney made him look like a walking lump of butter. Honestly, most of the Liverpool players probably spent lockdown sitting on the couch watching the Toy Story box set whilst licking peanut butter off their cat, sure. But Virgil, no, he probably spent the spring of 2020 replaying that Watford nightmare in his brain, where he showed the flexibility of a melted china doll. Honestly, at Saturday noon, whilst most of you are tucking into your morning bowl of porridge, Klopp is going to be vomiting spaghetti into the Vicarage Road toilets. Listen, I'm going to say it, if Claudio Ranieri lasts more than 50 days at Watford, in the Watford hot seat, I will happily go outside and film myself eating pizza half naked in the public street while shouting dilly ding dilly dong at confused passers-by. I mean, they'll probably call the damn police. But Ranieri, he turned 70 years old this week. The poor man's probably forgot the name of his own grandkids. He's like Uncle Junior from The Sopranos. He can barely tie his own shoelaces. Never mind having to cope with picking a wet chunk of tuna like Dan Gosling in midfield. This guy probably hasn't access to computers since 2002. So when he sees Ben Foster running around with a camera, he won't understand the vlog life. He'll probably think he's some sort of Russian spy. I mean, Christ, this is a worse squad than what he had at Fulham. And there he showed the tactical inside of a half-eaten banana. You just know Danny Rose is going to throw a tantrum in his office, which is a bit like yelling at a sweet old woman in a nursing home. Come on, Ranieri probably isn't medically fit to ride the bus by himself. But yes, his time at Watford will be a disaster. But the omens. Remember when Craig Shakespeare, a man who looked like a janitor for a public school, a man who probably fantasizes about naked egg McMuffins, well, when he replaced Ranieri at Leicester, despite having the authority of a shoe and the arse of a Moldovan cow, he still got the new manager bounce with a 3-1 win over Liverpool in his first game. And there's more. Nigel Pearson's first game as Watford boss was the new bounce 3-0 win over Liverpool. And there's more. Ranieri has won 4 of his 5 Premier League home clashes with Liverpool in his career. I'm sorry, all the signs are pointing to a shock Watford win. Go on then. 3-1 with Ismail Assar once again terrorizing Trent Alexander-Arnold to within an inch of his life. Oh, by the way, lads, I wasn't able to go because obviously I live in a swamp. But I won an award at the Football Content Awards. I don't know how. How? I mean, actually I do know how. It's because of all of you who voted. You absolute legends, honestly. You people are heroes. Thank you. Alright, absolute legends. Every single one of you. And yeah, let's keep going on this underdog journey together. Aston Villa versus Wolves. Is this one a derby? I mean, if it is, it's probably the least fierce local derby rivalry with the least amount of bite. And it's about as fiery as a chess game between two socially awkward bookworms. I mean, what are they gonna do? Insult each other through the language of algebra? This is a fixture which does not produce a lot of goals. Christ, there's been just 2 limp strikes in the past 3 games between these teams. And one of them was a 94th minute penalty. Honestly, thank Christ it's a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff, because having to suffer through 2 hours of this on Sunday, oh no. I'd rather look at Harvey Weinstein's public exam. Let's be honest, both these teams have stuttered so far this season. I mean, am I the only one who's been massively underwhelmed by Danny Ings? This guy was supposed to be rivaling for the Golden Boot. He's in my fantasy league team. But ever since that bicycle kick against Newcastle in August, the guy has looked about as threatening as a diabetic sheep. You'd swear that goal broke his coccyx or something. As for Wolves, if they win at Villa Park, it will be the first time they've stuck 3 wins together on the bounce since June 2020. Ironically, when they won 1-0 at Villa Park. And this should only be the 2nd time they've won 3 Premier League games in a row since the spring of 2019. How inconsistent is that? Honestly, this is going to be a dull as mustard 0-0 draw. Honestly, Villa fans, this is my warning. Go to the match, sure, of course, cheer on your team, but just be prepared. After an hour, you're going to want to pour hot coffee in your eyes. Leicester versus Man United. I'm sorry, but whenever I see a Leicester versus Man United, I just think Leicester 5, Manchester United 3. And honestly, one of the most bizarre, weirdest games of football I've ever seen in my life. This was a match where Jamie Vardy, who back then looked like someone who used to scrub toilets on a council estate, he had Man United defenders peeking up their dignity into a toilet bowl. But this match, I'm tempted to go for a repeat of the FA Cup 6th round in March, where Brendan Rodgers tactically annihilated Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with ease. But Leicester this season, they look like a bunch of chaotic turkeys trying to escape the pen. I'm sorry, but we're 2 months into the season, and they've played out 3 2-2 draws. They haven't kept a clean sheet since mid-August. They've conceded 15 goals, travelled to Poland and lost. This is verging on Claude Puel levels of stale. Solskjaer needs a win, and you know what? He's gonna get it. 2-0 Man United win, goals from Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo. Just you wait and see. Man City versus Burnley. Yeah, how many bets do you think have been made down the bookies for a 5-0 home win here? First of all, right now, Paul Merson is probably sweating on his couch, smacking his fingers with a spoon so as not to touch his phone. I mean, it sounds like easy money, right? The last 4 times Burnley have travelled to the Etihad, it's been 5-0. Burnley haven't left their stadium with a result since December 2014, when City were playing James Milner as a lone centre forward. I think that was an early clue that Manuel Pellegrini's brain was starting to look like a melted pumpkin in March. I mean, the easiest thing, the obvious thing would be to say 5-0 Man City, right? But no, I refuse to believe that Burnley are going to travel to the same stadium and lose 5-0 5 times in a row. That cannot happen. No, they can't. Sean Dyche, no, where is your dignity? Surely he knows by now that the game plan he keeps bringing to this ground, it doesn't work. Pep Guardiola might say that he respects you, but he can't possibly. He probably just views you as some Neanderthal Fred Flintstone. Dyche, you have to do something different. Put 7 men in your defense. Play with 2 goalkeepers. Get Josh Brownhill to break some ankles with a fork. Anything. This cannot end 5-0 again. Go for a 3-0 home win. Norwich versus Brighton. Norwich, just go home. Ozzy, pack your bags and leave. Because right now, you might just be the worst Premier League side I've seen since Derby County. If you lose this match, a home clash with Brighton, then I'm sorry. The Norwich board storm into Daniel Farke's office and say, Nate, demand he clear out his desk. Give him a sad little plastic bag to put his cheese sandwiches in and order that he leave the building as soon as possible. I think it will be another Brighton win. A late 1-0 win via a Leandro Trossard wonder strike. As Graham Potter's luck runs on for another week. Place up, I'm finding myself wanting Potter to fail so often. I feel like Professor Severus Snape. And that might just be the nerdiest reference I've ever made.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah, that was Albert Einstein. Someone who's probably got a few more brain cells than someone who made their money baking cakes. I'm sorry, Delia, but honestly, persisting with Farke in another relegation battle, it's like continuing to frequent the same hairdresser who keeps chopping off chunks of your scalp. If you want to survive, go and ring up Frank Lampard, Javi Gracia, Chris Wilder, or even someone left field like Andrei Shevchenko. Just do something. Southampton versus Leeds. Southampton have not beaten Leeds in nearly 10 years. Ralph Hasenhüttl might be a decent coach, but I'm sorry. Marcelo Bielsa utterly picked them apart last season. 5 goals scored, 2 clean sheets. I said Southampton will go down, and I stand by it. We're nearly at Halloween, and they've yet to win a single game. With Adam Armstrong looking predictably out of his depth, this will be the game where it all finally clicks for Leeds and Bielsa. A comfy 3-0 away win with Daniel James battering in another wonder goal at St Mary's Stadium. Brentford versus Chelsea. Listen, I've said Chelsea will win the league, and don't worry, I stand by it. But it just smells like a shock win. Or that might just be the armpits I haven't washed in 6 weeks. But I'm sorry, so far, Brentford, it looks a daunting place to go. This team is fearless. Christ, Ivan Toney setting the tone where he said he wanted a title challenge. With Brentford. This is a club who plays without a risk. I mean, it's like having a boxing match with a homeless man fighting for his dinner. No thanks, they'll probably try and chew off my ear. I mean, the fact that Antonio Rudiger, a man who should probably be up for European Defender of the Year, the fact he's not available to deal with Tony the Tiger, it's a blow for Chelsea. I mean, I realise Chelsea haven't lost this club since 1939, but I smell a 2-1 Brentford win. And I was right when I predicted them to win at West Ham 2 weeks ago, so maybe I am good at predicting Brentford's fate. I mean, 2 years ago, I was successfully predicting you to make a pig's rectum of the playoffs, and now I'm saying you'll beat the champions of Europe. Price of up, there's a weird story arc. Everton versus West Ham. Everton versus West Ham. Rafa Benitez versus David Moyes. 2 men who used to regularly contest the Merseyside derby. 2 managers who've been linked with each other's clubs so many times in recent years. But weirdly, this is a tough fixture to predict. Everton this season, they look good. Their bargain basement freebies look actually inspired signings, while West Ham are slowly burning out. I'll go over a 3-1 Everton win with Andros Townsend scoring again, prompting many people to wonder whether or not he's actually drinking horse steroids for breakfast. Newcastle versus Tottenham. Steve Bruce is about to sit in a dugout for the 1000th time in his life. I haven't even had 1000 showers in mine. I mean, people say he's got the tactics of a shoe, that he deserves that cabbage just thrown off his face. But lads, he's lasted 23 years as a manager. Yes, he's about as attractive as a foot with chicken pox, but he's not the complete northern dunce everyone seems to think he is. Any man who can take Paul McShane to an FA Cup final and have Hull 2-0 up after 8 minutes in Wembley, that's proof alone that he's not exactly a cross-dressing tea lady. But honestly, the reception at 4:30 on Sunday, I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be one of the top 3 noisiest atmospheres ever seen in the Premier League. This game is a sellout, the flags are back, the 14-year prison sentence is over. There's gonna be an overwhelming relief. Not even the presence of a 60-year-old wart in the dugout is gonna dampen the mood. And you know what, lads? Just like when Tottenham were flattened by the Geordie noise in May 2016, losing 5-1 to an already relegated team, I'm guessing that Nuno Espirito Santo isn't going to be able to control this and is once again going to be blown away inside the first half hour. Newcastle will race into a 3-0 lead. There'll be a John Joe Shelby wonder goal, and yeah, Harry Kane will pull him back in the second half. But yeah, 3-1 Newcastle win. There is no way Tottenham turn up to this daunting arena and leave with the win. Not this weekend. No chance. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Is Patrick Vieira still an Arsenal legend? I mean, I'm sure he'll be greeted with a great reception on Monday night, but this guy openly flirted with Real Madrid while he was Arsenal captain. He walked out on you for Juventus, and then gave 3 years of his life working at the academy at Manchester City. You know, the club who kept nicking all of Arsenal's players. Anyway, Palace have no fear in this match. They haven't lost at the Emirates since January 2018. That's nearly 4 years ago. This will be an entertaining Monday night match. Wilfred Zaha will turn it on. 2-2. Anyway, that's it. Let me know in the comments section. What do you think? Have I got all of these wrong? Do I have the brains of a malnourished pigeon? Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.